Yeah, you guys want to handle the first one? I think Nola or somebody said they would.
Yeah, I got it. Um, so this is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna read the note here and then touch on it a little bit. Let's be real clear. This has always been in our rules. If you build a forward, quote unquote, raid base before PvP starts or place mines or traps around someone else's base, you are in violation of our rules and will be banned for the
Oh,
PvP day.
shit. Huh?
This has been happening. It's always happened here or there. It's usually been the exception, but now people are doing this almost as like just a normal PvP buildup. We're seeing TCs, be placed outside of players' bases. We're seeing landmines being put around other players' bases. Things that they can't possibly defend against because you're still in PvE time. Um, don't do that. If we find it, we're going to note your player record, and you're just not going to be able to play on the server during PvP day. Um, if it's borderline, you can open a ticket and explain how we're mistaken, but generally it's pretty clear. We can see when things were built, and we can see who built them. Um, so don't do it. There's no reason to have to build up to counter or to attack somebody on a PvE server by building up in advance. Like you have the entire wipe to prep to, build a stupid base right before PvP time. So just play it straight.
Yeah, ultimately it's just because it's not fair. Um, in normal PvP situations, you wouldn't be able to just walk out right outside somebody's base and start building yourself a forward, raiding base to raid them from. Like they would stop you or they would fight you or try to fight you at least. So that's why it's against the rules. It's not because we're trying to be controlling or be dicks. It's just because that's cheap. It's not fair. And technically, and some of the ones we've seen recently, it's actually harassment. It's people that have been arguing with each other before, and then the one guy's like, "Well, I'm gonna be a dick and surround his base in landmines right before." Yeah, that's a dick move. Don't do that, please. Yep, I know. You're one of the ones I'm talking about. Not as the not as the violator. I mean, what about neighbors? Just a question. I have no intentions. No, I mean you can build near people. We're saying it's blatantly obvious when somebody's building a forward rating base. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very obvious. Like we've been doing this for a long time, so it's pretty obvious. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
we could get it wrong sometimes, but it's pretty obvious.
yeah. Wisdom. Again, not to beat that topic to death too much, but people will put up one by ones with SAM sites around people's bases. They'll surround people's bases in turrets. They'll lay landmines all over the place. It's just cheesy. It's dumb. It's not something we approve of.
Correct. All right, you ready to move on to the next one here? I'll take this one. It's gonna sound weird, but we need translators. If anyone out there fluently speaks English and another language, um, let us know. We are slowly trying to translate a lot of our plugins so that if you have your Rust, a lot of you probably do. If you have your Rust set to another language other than English as its like actual configuration in your Rust, you may notice a lot of our plugins look really stupid to you because if we don't do those translations, it just spits out like the code basically. A good example would be the stats plugin. If you type /stat, if you're from another country or another language and you type /stat, I'm sure our stats plugin looks fucking terrible to you guys. Whereas to the rest of us, it looks great, and we're like, I don't see the problem. It's because if you're in another language, we have to. So what it does is hell, I can probably show you guys one here in a little bit next time another admin takes a topic. There's like what's called a language file, and it's basically just all the common phrases that are used in a plugin. And what we can do is we can actually have those language files for all the different languages out there. I recently had one of our players do some of our Spanish on one of the plugins. But anyway, so long story short, we need some translators. Just at least the major languages. English, well, duh, Spanish, French, shit like that. I'm probably gonna get tons of hate when I say this, but maybe even Russian. I believe it or not, there's actually a lot of Russians that play fucking Rust. Anyway, the point being is, yeah, we just need people to translate. So if you're a volunteer for that, I wouldn't volunteer this week because I haven't even, like, I don't even have time to shower or eat during Force Wipe week. It's insane. So I wouldn't even bother asking about it this week. But maybe
Good
next
old
week.
force wipe.
Yeah, I hate it. Maybe next week or this weekend or something. Throw me you gotta remember, it doesn't hurt to throw a ticket in for stupid shit. A lot of people, I don't want to put a ticket in. It didn't seem like it was an. No, it's fine. You can use a ticket just to communicate with us. It's no big deal. It doesn't bother us. So maybe after this week, throw a ticket in or something. Be like, hey, I remember at the meeting T said something about this. I know how to speak Swahili. I'm willing to do some translations for him. So it's really easy. I would hand you a file, and you would just go through the file, and they'd be English sentences, and you would just rewrite them in whatever language. So English to English translations.
We would use ChatGPT, but we actually want a translation.
Yeah. Swahili. It's really easy to do. Translate to Canadian. All you do is you do a control. You do a control F for find and replace. You find any period, and you replace it with a comma A.
Sorry.
Period. Comma A. Period.
You guys hear this? I'm getting abused.
Did you guys see Zombat the other day when he fucking ragged on Chappie from being from Canada? He's like, hey, Chappie, A, welcome from Canada, A. I was like, God damn. Fucking brutal. Ugh. But he's been shooting me in the titty all week. Bad idea. Are you in here? Are you active? You here?
And Bad's up next.
Hello.
Hey, this next one was yours. You remember it?
Oh yeah, the stupid things.
No.
There's no shortage of that.
Don't be dumb. Do no dumb.
You guys ever, first learn to ride a bike and you go way too fast and fall off and cut your leg open? If the first thing you did is call the city and tell them to fix the road, yeah, no, that's not how it works. Bringing that to Rust, if you fly off the map and die and want us to get your stuff, that's not how it works.
What if I fly off my bike and die?
Hole. Huh?
What if I fly off my bike and die?
If you fly off your bike and die, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Just
Put in a
You
ticket.
can ride a bike still?
Anyway, what Ben's getting at is
Don't do stupid things. Don't go flying off the map like people that wait at the edge of the map for cargo to get there, and then open a ticket saying that they fell off the map and died. What do you want us to do?
yeah. Easy phrase to sum all that up. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
There you go.
Cool. All right. Also, real quick, rewinding back to my translation thing. Like, here's an example. That ain't the example.
Maybe I should open the Twitch.
No, I'm putting this in the text chat here. Why the hell is it not copying more than one line?
1 hour later.
He's usually faster than this.
There we go. Calm down, SpongeBob. Anyway, so I would hand you something like that. Obviously, you would not touch the all caps, words. Those are like the code part of it. But the other side of it, where it's just normal sentences, you would just, and obviously you wouldn't touch like size equals 10 type stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Just the words. You would change those into whatever language, and then that's how that works. And you would just hand me the file back when you're done. Some of the files are big, some of them are small. It just depends upon the plugin. But you don't have to do them all. If you're willing to do a couple, it'd be helpful. Yeah, don't you fucking dare. No, I do run it through a JSON checker before I put it back. This ain't my first rodeo. All right, moving on. Bad idea. This next one's yours too, man. Take it.
Bad idea. Skin shop.
Oh boy. So it's been a while since we had any new skins. I've been working for the last 2+ months, first revamping our sheet for skins. And then when I was a player and for the longest time, and I hear it from people too, the biggest complaint people have is no matching skins. You get that perfect hoodie that you like and you can't find the pair of pants or the boots that match, or maybe the same thing when it comes to the road sign gear that can't find a matching kilt. So I've gone through 70% of what I've done is complete every single piece of attire that we have, a matching set. I've gone to the artist page, anything that they have, if it's armor, if it's just clothing, burlap, everything. It's all going to be in the skin shop now. And then I've added some new things. So I can stream that, right? The sheet.
I don't care. I don't know how you're gonna stream it, but yeah. You want me to just put a screenshot of it in the chat here?
Yeah, sure.
I gotta go find it. You already have it pulled up.
So that includes a revamp of the pricing too. So everything now is priced based on usability in our server. So just for attire, because I'm still working on the other stuff. Metal chest plate and face mask, they're the most expensive stuff.
Where'd you put it?
I thought I put it in the meetings chat, but I guess I can't post a picture.
Oh, here, I'll post it. You just got a screenshot of just like the main spreadsheet there, collection.
Oh, go all the way over there to price table on the far end.
P table.
Work in progress price table.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And you can take just the attire picture. All the prices are going to be based off usability in our server. Metal face mask being the most expensive, the road sound gear being the middle ground, and then just simple things like helmet, miner's helmet, and gloves. So you'll see some new skins come next month, new prices, and everything's ranked accordingly. So the champions, all your gear is only accessible to you now. Same goes for the top voter, top donators. And I think those are the only people that have a skin right now. If you find a set that's really worth being like top rater, I'm still looking for one of those.
And sorry to interrupt, Bad. I just want to take a moment to give a shout out to Bad and to Twister as well. Both of those guys have been crunching on skins and kits, working on a couple projects. That is tedious, boring work. Usually we only reserve that stuff for tea. For some reason, these guys volunteered for this, and they've been really busting their ass. So, just a quick thank you to the two of you.
Bet they learned their lesson.
Yeah, we'll do that again.
All right. So anyway, long story short, lots of new skins coming. Whole skin shop revamp coming soon here. We originally were trying to get it done for Force Wave. I don't think that's going to happen. But maybe sometime in March that'll be ready. Which this is March, obviously. Oh, speaking of which, I got to pull my desk calendar. It's still in February. Did I even post a wipe for March yet? God, look at this terrible ass admin.
Yes.
Okay, we'll just pretend I did, but I didn't. Okay. I'll get the wipe schedule for March posted up very soon here.
I mean, technically.
I'm pretty upset with myself. I don't have that posted yet.
Isotope is in March.
I was all proud of myself for getting like a map preview put out really early for the map, and then I didn't do the wipe schedule. I was like, fuck. I'm so busy, it's ridiculous. All right, next topic. Ugh, I'm not gonna enjoy the next 4 topics.
You want that, or you want me to take it?
I'll take it because I got to figure out how to even word this. Because it's a real thin line, if you get what I'm saying. It's a real thin line to walk. Okay, I'm gonna combine the next 2 topics. Trigger, since they're pretty much the same thing. Building rules and deployable rules. They're pretty much gone. Now, before you guys get all too excited and crazy, let me explain some caveats and let me explain my reasoning behind it. The caveat is you're still not going to fuck my server up. So if I see you doing something that's going to put my server at risk of crashing or put my players at risk of just lagging the hell out, or do like the guy the other day chaining 27 TCs from the middle of the continent all the way to the ocean so he can get some water for his stupid ass little single farm plot. If I see you doing shit like that, we're still going to step in. But for the most part, we're done. No more build restrictions, no more deployable restrictions. Do what you want to do. Matter of fact, Trigger, that's going to combine all 3 topics there, because all 4.
As
Um,
well.
that includes industrial crafters or industrial whatever the hell those stupid pieces of shit are that cause so much lag and people have to spam 500 of them in a base. All that stuff. All that stuff is now. Don't get me wrong. This could always revert if people go crazy and people act stupid. It can revert. But the reason being is this, and this is just the inside scoop. This is honestly nothing to do with any of you. But I figure if I'm gonna do crazy shit, you guys deserve to know my thoughts behind it. Russ is in a huge slump right now. There's no question about that. I forget what analogy did I use earlier, guys. I can't remember what the fuck I did. Fuck. I had a good one earlier too.
Back when I was on patrol.
Oh no, it's it's like the economy's at shit right now. So Russ is in a huge slump right now. It's just tons of other games coming out and stuff. People just ain't playing the Russ as much as they normally do, and it typically happens in the winter time anyway. It usually picks back up late spring, but on top of that, I really feel that it's not 100% Russ' fault that we are in such a big slump right now. I really feel that it's weird. The restrictions that we put on building and deployables and all that stuff, it's not because we don't like those things, we don't care, we don't want you to build or whatever. I mean, I tell the story all the time. The first time I ever got in trouble before I had a server, I used to get in trouble all the time on the server I played on because I would build giant castles. And I could never figure out why these guys were being such assholes to me and wouldn't let me build my big castles. Now that I've run some servers for 5 years, I completely understand why those guys were being that way, and I was the asshole. But unfortunately, players can't grasp that concept. Again, I'm saying that about myself too. I didn't grasp that concept either until I ran successful servers for a while. And I say successful because it takes a bunch of players to make it a problem. If you only got 5 players, it doesn't really matter what the hell they build. Anyway, so the point being is I don't know. The restrictions and the stuff we put on you guys is not because we want to be dicks. It's because what you're doing is literally causing other people to not be able to play on our server. It is literally harming the game experience for other people when you do that kind of shit. When you spam a bunch of industrial crap all over your base, or you build these giant farm bases all over the map that you don't even need. All that shit harms other people that are trying to play the game. And it ruins it for them, and then they don't want to play here. But at the same time, players have spoken. Obviously, people want to be able to build stupid shit in giant farms and all that kind of crap. So I decided, you know what? I don't make these servers for me. I make them for you guys. So if that's what you want to do, then go ahead and do it. Because I have a feeling that despite Russ being in a slump, that some of the slump is self-inflicted, if that makes sense. My analogy that I was trying to remember earlier was basically, the economy is the shit right now. But at the same time, if you go out to eat every single night of the week and smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, you can't blame it all on the economy. You are kind of wasting, you are kind of causing some of that problem yourself too by blowing money on stupid shit. So that's my justice, or my justification behind all of this is, yes, Rust is in a slump and causing most of our issues right now, but I think we have some self-inflicted issues too by the fact that I hate to say we're being too restrictive because I don't feel we are. I feel we're trying to keep the server performing flawlessly. But apparently players don't feel the same way. They would rather have a laggy server and be able to build what they want to build. So that's what we're doing now. No more build restrictions, no more deployable restrictions. Industrial is back re-enabled, and Ts have been taken out of the shops and stuff so that you farmers can build your fucking annoying farms. So there's 4 topics covered at once right there. Anyway.
For God's sakes, please read our deployable and building guidelines. I know T is saying that we're just going to let the server burn down if people want to let it burn down. But if you're the person who's in this meeting, and I know we always say it, the people who are here are probably not the ones that need to hear it. But take a moment tonight, take a look at our build guidelines and our deployables just to see where we'd like it. And as close as you can keep that to that, we would really appreciate it, because there will be a bunch of fuckwits who, build a 90 by 90 twig floor for all their solar panels to charge all their large batteries to power a light.
True story.
So anything you can do to counteract stupidity, we would appreciate it. And if someone gets too stupid, then we'll deal with them. But
if I could show you guys the Hall of Shame channel in the admin Discord, some of the stuff we've had to deal with players' builds and player deployables. It's insane. Like you guys probably think like, wow, these guys are tyrants, man. They always bitch about this. Like you don't understand. You don't understand. It gets insane. I mean, freaking insane. Next time an admin is telling part of his stuff, I'll tab over my other window and see if I can find some cool pictures to show you in the chat here. It is insane the stuff we deal with. So like
the 37 TC chain for one water cut,
Yeah.
or for one planter.
For one planter, yeah, it's insane the stuff we deal with. So like, I promise you, it's not just us being like Nazis. Like it really is insane. And when I keep saying, oh, it affects people, and you guys, well, it don't affect me, I'm fine. Trust me, it affects people. Baby Jesus just asked if we could change the sill limit. No, the reason no is because this is how these things affect you. Skinned things or signs and pictures, they cause such a massive hit on performance that one day, this is a couple years ago, I don't see many names in this channel that might remember this, but a couple years ago we had one base, maybe it was a year and a half ago. It caused a 6-grid map area, 6 grids around it. Nobody could log in, even admins. We couldn't get anywhere near it. If you got anywhere near it, your game would crash instantly. We finally had to literally like zoom in with an L96 and a 16 times scope and hope that our admin nuke could reach, just because it's a point and click type thing, and try to nuke the base from there. And we did. We ended up just having to nuke the guy's fucking base. Once we got it nuked down far enough, we could get close enough to see what the problem was. Signs and pictures everywhere. Literally shut down a 6 map grid radius. Like it was all hands on deck, emergency. Nobody could log in. People were dying left and right because they'd get near it and they would just crash. And then they would be dead because, a zombie or something would wander along and kill them. It was insane. Like that's how much this stuff affects people around you. It wasn't hurting the server at all. Metrics were through the roof. It was running perfectly. Oh man, I sounded like Trump just then. Anyway, it was running fine. But the problem is it's clients. And that's the problem people don't realize. Is even the guy whose base it wasn't really affecting him none. Why wasn't it affecting him none? Because he's already in the base. His client has already downloaded all that shit when he was first putting it up. You get what I'm saying? So his client didn't have to do all that. So he was fine. So when you guys are doing stuff and you're thinking, well, this seems fine. I'm not lagging at all. My frames are great. It's because you're there in it already. If you're in, you know the old adage of like boiling a frog or whatever, like you start him in regular temperature water because he doesn't even notice he's boiling. That's it. You're already there. You're already a smoker. You can't smell the smoke. But when other people's clients get near your base and have to try to render all that shit, and it crashes them. So that's what you guys don't get is these giant farm bases and all this industrial shit and all these turrets and all this other crap, or these giant castles you try to build. Somebody could be flying along in their minicopter. You're perfectly fine because you're already there and it's already rendered for you. But somebody could be flying along in their minicopter, and as soon as their client detects your base and tries to render that shit, boom, they're done. They're dead. And you just killed a player. Like, it's not fair. It's just not fair. So, like I said, building rules, deployable rules, they're out the window now. But please show some respect for others. There's no reason to build like that. Anyway, SIL is the sign art. You can put like a picture on a sign in the game. It's if you type if you're in game, type /info or go to the website, but it's in /info also in the game. Nobody skinned your boxes, by the way. That's that's any server that runs a skins plugin that lets you manipulate skins with a plugin. It randomly sometimes will skin items when the server reboots and entities get confused. It's nothing to do with us. Nobody touched it. I can tell you right now, you're not even the 200th person to accuse the admins of changing skins on your items, but I promise you we're not doing that. No, you're still crazy, but we're not changing skins. All right. Moving on to the next topic. Well, I covered 4 topics at once on that one. You guys should be happy. That
Nailed it.
sped it along nice and quickly there. You guys are going to be mad at me for this one, but I did tell you from day one. I think I'm finally ready to make the stats plugin officially live and done. I do have an update to install for it. I've done some fixing and some other stuff to fix it. I've just been waiting for a force wipe to do it because to do these fixes, the stats plugin is running on a MySQL database, and I got to change some tables and some rows or whatever, and to do that I have to wipe the database. And I did tell you guys when I put it live that it's just a beta test so we can get it all figured out and get it all sorted out and working correctly, which we've done. But I did tell you back when I did that keep in mind when we do go live with it officially, we're gonna have to wipe it and start it fresh, and that's what we're gonna be doing on this force wipe. So statistics will be wiping this force wipe. No, I mean we do wipe it every wipe, but not the. There's a global stat that lasts forever, and we're not going to wipe the global one. Most deaths by horde. Yeah, that would be fun. All right, moving on to the next topic. We are hiring, quote unquote. I don't know how to phrase that with.
I got this one.
Okay, take it.
We are hiring, quote unquote. Well, I don't know how to phrase this.
I hate you.
No, Zombieland is interested in hiring a social media person. And by hiring, I use that term really loosely because we're all a bunch of crazy people who do this for the fun of keeping the server up and running for our community.
But I gotta pause you though. We will figure out some kind of perks package for you.
Yes. So what we are looking for is someone, a member of our community who's kind of in tune with the way we do things, the way our servers run, and someone to get out there and spread the word of our server. You know, as T mentioned earlier, Rust in general is in a slump right now, and we certainly want to keep things up and running for all of our current community and everyone down the road who has yet to join us. And someone who has some skills in social media can help us in that regard. We're looking for things like promo videos or just little clips, something to throw up on the tactics and the FaceTimes and all of the other social media platforms.
The Insta talk.
The Insta talks. In all seriousness, though, I mean, even though we're old dinosaurs who don't use things like social media all that much, it really is an important tool these days. And we'd love someone who is well versed in how to engage with an audience. Trust and responsibility and accountability is going to be a big part of this. We're not looking for someone with a bunch of followers. We're looking for someone who we trust to be kind of a forward-facing representative of our communities. So if you are both well versed and have some experience in doing social media for organizations or groups, member of our community in good standing, we'd love to talk to you. You know, please open a ticket. We're going to be organizing some interviews in the coming days and weeks as we get applicants. So open a support ticket, need admin, and let us know you're interested. Give us some information about what you've done, send us some links, all that good stuff. Feel free to add to that, T, if you'd like.
Nah, I'm just spamming Hall of Shame pictures. But yeah, yeah, just feel free to talk to us about it. We need somebody that's good. I don't, no offense, I'm not looking for like, some little 16-year-old that's like, well, I'm on Instagram all the time. I can just post something. No, I need somebody that knows what the fuck they're doing. Like, don't get me wrong, we'll help you out and support you and do everything you need us to do to enable you to do it. And we're definitely going to come up with some kind of perks package or something. We're not going to just throw you to the wolves and be like, okay, make us popular and we're not going to do shit for you. No, we're going to do whatever we can for you, but we're not exactly running payroll back here. So we'll get some kind of perks package to like fucking right. permanent vet gold while you're in that position, and top voter perks, and it's just something. We'll get something for you for sure.
Rather than throwing them to the wolves, we'll give them immunity from the wolves. That'll be your payment.
Oh, and just mad, you can just attach it to my OnlyFans. It's okay. I've got lots of followers. Totally.
That's what this is. This is actually a secret mission to boost numbers to T's OnlyFans. We just didn't seem appropriate to bring it up from the beginning.
God, nobody wants to see my old ass, I promise.
Okay, moving on. The next one is an easy one. So, for better or for worse, Rust has a strip command. Lots of times players use it as they should. Sometimes people will troll unsuspecting players.
Wait. Them... Or sometimes unsuspecting admins will accidentally click the
number 8 key.
Sorry, go ahead.
So we're talking about the strip command, and what the strip command does is it empties everything in your inventory. It empties your hotbar, your inventory, everything in your clothing, etc. I don't know if it affects the new vanilla backpacks, but let's assume that it does. So we have relaunched I'm sure you guys have heard T talking about some toolbox
It's all going to
tools
be
that
discussed here
he's given
soon.
us. One of those is a strip command, and it's a command that players and admins can use alike. Again, this removes everything in your inventory. It doesn't drop it on the ground. It doesn't store it. It doesn't take a screenshot of it. It's gone. It's completely gone. It's not coming back. We cannot help you. That being said, sometimes you want to empty everything in your inventory. We don't like people throwing things on the ground that can really affect player performance around you. So if you do need to get rid of stuff, you have the strip command at your fingertips. The new command has changed some, and we'll post it in the
Already did.
meeting chat here. Okay, T already has. Apparently, I don't have it up. So it's /at.strip. One more time. This will delete everything in your inventory. Two things. Use it very carefully, and do not use it to troll other players. If you're found using it to troll other players and they inadvertently delete their inventory, not saying we're going to ban you. We're definitely going to have a talk.
And we're definitely going to strip your inventory. And by the way, that is a true story, what he just warned you not to do.
Everybody remembers the old Alt F4 for infinite ammo, or whatever /quit.infinite ammo, and some poor dummy out there just doesn't know, and you're going to ruin their day. So don't do it.
Oh, why is it useful? Okay, I knew that question was coming. So originally it was invented, honestly, just for admins. It's useful for us when we're trying to test things. Like we're making kits and stuff. We got, when we make kits, we actually have to put all the stuff on ourselves, and then we got to delete it all and then make a new kit and blah blah blah. And then we found out it was pretty useful for Power Hour because you respawn, you just want to dump everything real quick and get your Power Hour kit again. So that's when we started opening up to players. Some people hotkey it. I mean, mine's hotkeyd. Careful when you hotkey it. I'll explain that in a minute.
Turned out.
Yeah, I'll explain that in a minute. But if you hotkey it, it's really useful if you, like when you fresh spawn, you just like poof, hit the hotkey real quick, all your shit's gone, get your starter kit and get moving. So it's useful for that kind of stuff too. The funny story being, just be careful how you hotkey things. Hold on a second. Sorry, wife was saying goodnight to me. The careful when you hotkey though. If you put it on a number button, like in whatever, like let's just say you were careless enough to put it like on number pad 8. And let's just say that you had a full inventory of everything that you had farmed all day, and then let's just say you were running out of space in your inventory, and you're like, well, let me sell a couple things on the market real quick, that way I can clear out some space. And you go to type the price for something, you're like, yeah, that's worth about 80 Zeds, and you hit the 8, you just deleted your whole fucking inventory. Even though you're trying to type the number in the market, it still counts the hotkey. So if you do hotkey strip, be careful where you hotkey it to, because you might accidentally hit it when you're typing something.
Yeah, I would recommend you not hotkey that unless you are a very, very experienced user.
I mean, even if you're let's say you've got 5 years of experience, you still got to be careful, because some dumbass isn't going to end up typing a price somewhere and deleting their whole fucking inventory and getting pissed about it.
The only good thing is he had Shadowplay going and was able to,
Yeah. If you guys are wondering what all the laughter's for, us, because that was a true story, and that was me during my wipe that I tried to play, and I tried to sell something on the market, and I deleted my whole fucking inventory.
While he was waiting for his teammate to rejoin him from drowning in a boat.
Yep, I lost my entire inventory. But the good news is I had Shadowplay running, so guess what? Got to respawn my inventory. I did lose my enchantments, but I got my inventory back at least. So anyway, be careful if you hotkey it. Yeah, it definitely sounds like I've done this. Okay, moving on.
This one's yours, T.
Yeah, I got a bunch of shit on this one. The good news is the last note. The bad news is I got a lot to say, and this is where I'm gonna have to stream some stuff too. So let me go ahead and launch Rust while I'm talking here.
Yeah, while you're getting that spun up, I want to take today's apparently a thank you night. I guess I'm just in a good mood.
Nola's drunk.
I'm not yet. I wanted to also take a moment to give a shout out to our map testers. T was lamenting earlier the amount of reports that have flooded in. For those of you that don't know, we test every one of our maps. We configure every one of our maps every time we touch it, and Lord knows we make mistakes from time to time. But down to, hey, this rock is floating, this telephone pole is crooked, this road ends kind of funny and it's floating half an inch off the ground. All the way down to that point, we scour the maps before they go live. We adjust everything, and it's more than the admin team can do alone. We actually have a group of player volunteers who have access to our test server, and they join us each and every map, flying around, finding rock holes, testing monuments, and it's an invaluable assistance to us. So, number one, thank you very much. I'm going to call out the people who are currently in our map testing. If you're not active and I'm calling you out, then shame on you. But for everybody else, we've got Supreme, we've got Just Mad, Taco Bell Baja Blast, Karos. Jesus, Karos, like all of the stuff you've been posting. I was joking with T earlier. It's you guys are Nola-ing T with all those map reports.
I've officially decided Karos just does not like me. That's all there is to it.
We got PV Poop. We got that guy, and I think that's all of the players.
Mama
So
Bruns.
we've got a good group of people. We're always looking for more. If you're a member of our community that's in good standing and you're interested in, I'm not going to say playing on the test server, because anyone who's currently in the map testing, and feel free to chime in and chat. It's work. Like it's for when you don't want to play Rust anymore, but you still want to play Rust a little bit. It's almost like a different game, finding errors and fixing things. So
Yes, and Eagle Eye and Mama Bruns too.
ah, okay. Just need to get them.
Tried to interrupt you and tell you, but I didn't quite get through.
Thank you.
Anyway, also on that same note, we are accepting staff applications. Still, we are still short-staffed. We've got some new people in here. I'm sure many of you have met Elysium, one of our new staff, and even newer than her would be Nint, and I'm sure a lot of you already know Nint. He's been a pretty active person in our community for a while now. He finally decided to bite the bullet and throw an app in, and got unanimously voted yes. So here he is too.
We need a soundboard in here. I was going to do a little round of applause.
I wish we could have the soundboard in here so bad. Anyway, but we're always accepting more apps. The same speech I always give. Don't ever take it personally if we don't get back to you or if we don't accept it. Some of my favorite players of all time would make terrible admins. That's just the way it is. Hell, Rocket Rebel would make a fucking angry ass admin, but he's probably one of my favorite players we've ever had. Pooh Water, same thing. So there's just some people just. I'd like not being restricted to having to be polite. So they make better players than they do admins. It's not an easy job for sure. Matter of fact, if you do get contacted by us after putting an application in, the first contact you have with us is literally we sit you down for about an hour and we tell you everything that fucking sucks about being an admin and everything you are restricted from doing, everything that's negative about it, and then see if you're still interested. That's literally what the interview process is like. It's like
this. I basically try and talk you out of it.
Yeah, we literally spend an hour trying to talk you out of it. Not because we don't want you to be one, but because we don't want you to waste our fucking time training you and going through all this shit just to have you quit. So it is not an easy job. It is it's very thankless. Unfortunately, I'm saying it to the group of people who do thank us. Those of you that show up to the meetings are also the same people that are always constantly praising us and defending us if some troll comes along. You guys are the greatest for sure. So when I say that it's a thankless job, I'm not referring to you guys. I'm really just talking about the constant drama and stress we got to deal with. It's a pretty thankless job, but the real thing we get out of it is seeing how much everybody enjoys it. When people always compliment the server, just saying how fun it is, that makes it all worth it. So, but it could definitely be interesting. All right, so my final topic here. Man, this one went quicker than I thought too. That's good. I'm booting up Rust. Oh, I'm almost on the test server. If you don't have the stream up yet, you're going to want to pull it up. The first couple minutes of it will just be me doing what we call Discord parkour, when you're talking in Discord and you bounce around in the game because you're bored. And but I do have stuff to show you. That's why I'm telling you to check the stream. Again, I'm not looking. I forgot who it was earlier. Tried to say I'm trying to get followers. I don't care about followers. You ain't got a sub, nothing. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff. I don't even know what that stuff does. I'm just trying to show you some stuff in the game.
You may think he's lying. He really doesn't know what that stuff does.
He's like,
yeah, I really
hey,
don't.
I just got a crown with a star, and someone sent me two coins. What is that? It's good tea. All right, awesome.
Yeah, I really don't have any clue what any of this shit does, but it helps me show you guys stuff. So that's all I care. Like right now, J Dub, thank you for whatever you just clicked that made a noise on my screen. Thank you. I know I'm
first
supposed
time chat.
Don't forget to mash the bell in like or something. I don't know. Fucking Christ. Hit a heart or something. I don't. Throw me a funny emoji. I guess I don't know.
Or just make fun of him. It's fine too.
Yes. Oh wait, Jay. Wait. I just said thank you for the whatever noise. Okay. Anyway.
And this is why we need someone who is well versed in social media.
Yeah, I'm 107, so I don't know how to do all that stuff. So, okay. So anyway, moving on to the. Let me switch this to Rust. Oh, I just got a bunch of like lights. Oh, that's Jamboree. I remember him. What's up, man? So yeah, I got confused now with all these little sparkly things on my damn stream here. Where the hell's Rust? There it is.
Ooh, shiny.
Ooh, shiny. Ooh, piece of candy. Okay. All right, so we got a bunch of new stuff I've been working on. As you guys know, oh, by the way, if anybody's trying to text talk to me here, I cannot see the Discord window now. All I can see is Rust in my stream chat. Anyway, I've been completely recoding everything, and I mean everything. I learned how to code, and I just went nuts with it. I've become a monster. So as you know, with my new Zombot 1.0 revamp that we did, Zombot now has a little AI mixed into him. The problem is this, and the reason this is a topic in the meetings, I'm just going to explain to you how it all works. The problem is this: there's two different ways to use the OpenAI API. Is one, you get you set up an assistant, you fine tune it, you do all this extra shit. You're basically teaching it everything about yourself, all these documents, all this kind of stuff like that. It's a real pain in the ass. Trying to tie into it is a pain in the ass. Even bigger pain in the ass is that level of OpenAI is real delayed with its actions. Like when you ask it, I'm sure you guys have all used like DALL-E or some shit like that before, right? Same concept. When you submit, you could wait a full minute to get your full response back, right? Well, the problem is in plugins, you can't do that because a plugin is going to keep executing the next line of code. It's going to want to keep going, and if the stuff so you send something to OpenAI and you want it to do its thing and send you a string back so you can put it as a message into chat, right? Somebody asks where are all the nodes at, and you want to fucking send that shit off to OpenAI and then have it give the information back to you, put it in a string, print it to chat, right? Well, the plugin code, it's already moved on to the next step. It sent that off to OpenAI and it's already down to the next step now. It's like, okay, cool, now let's take this message and put it to chat. But OpenAI hasn't responded yet. So the message is null. And so the plugin throws an error, and you get what I'm getting at? It's a pain in the ass. So here's what I did. Now with the 3.5 OpenAI, it can't do all that learning stuff, but it's instant as fuck. Like it's just instant. The 3.5 turbo to be exact. So that was my conundrum, big word, is that if I use the fast one that's not going to cause errors, then it doesn't know shit, because the problem with the fast one is it only knows what you send it in the prompt, if that makes sense. There's a prompt, and when you send a message to, if you go to ChatGPT, you can't just say, you don't want to just say like, hey, make me a cool picture. No, you tell it like, hey, make me a cool picture. I want it to have a Jeep in it. The Jeep should be blue. You tell it everything you want it to know. Its knowledge comes from that one prompt that you first say to it when you first ask it to do something, right? Okay, well, that's been working fine and dandy so far. I put as much information as I could in the prompt, but here's the other problem, is you also get charged money for all the characters and everything you do. In your prompt, in your question, in your answers, everything. Every character, they're called tokens, but every character you get charged money for. And I don't mean a bunch of money, but they add up in the thousands pretty quick. So that's the other problem is, the question will be, well, T, why don't you just put all the Zombieland information in that prompt and then he'll know everything? Well, I can't, because then the prompt will be fucking, 70,000 characters long, and every time you ask a question, it's going to cost us $10. So that was my problem. And I spent the last 2 months trying to figure out how to solve that problem, because as you guys know, the new Zombot is really cool, but he gets a lot of shit wrong. So I don't know what to do. about that. And I think I finally found a solution. Well, I don't think I know. And here was my solution. Without giving away the farm, my secret proprietary, whatever the hell they call it when you make something cool and you don't want people to steal it from you. I decided to do this a better way. I thought to myself, what if there was a way I could know ahead of time what kind of vital information that OpenAI needed to be advised on before I send the prompt, if that makes sense. So the old way is it just sends everything it can know about Zombieland, as much as I could fit into the prompt every time you ask a question. So you could literally just say like, hey, when did Queen Elizabeth die? Which has nothing to do with fucking Zombieland. And it's going to send all that Zombieland information I had in the prompt to OpenAI, just for OpenAI to tell you when fucking Queen Elizabeth died. Nobody fucking cares. So so I thought to myself, what if I could only have it answer for relevant stuff that we want it to answer for instead of every fucking question. I'm sure you guys were getting annoyed by that when I first rolled out the new Zombot. And B is, what if I can make the prompt only have the relevant information in the prompt that's important to the question? In other words, if Chappie asks where all the nodes at, I don't need to have in the prompt Zombieland wipes every 9 to 12 days and 4 swipes on the first Thursday of the month. I don't need to have that in the prompt. It doesn't matter. It's not pertinent to the question he asked. So I finally figured out a solution. Instead of writing all these new plugins that I was doing, I wrote a new death plugin where you die and it puts a funny message in chat. And I wrote a new Zombot plugin so that when you ask a question, it puts it through everything I just described. Instead of doing all that, I felt like I was reinventing the wheel because we already had a Death Notes plugin from way back in the day. Remember? It would just put, it was the same message every time because I could only just, type the message in the config and that's what it would say when you died. Shot, so-and-so in the titty with a big fucking gun or something like that. It was just one message. That's all it could do. But it at least took care of the workload. It would figure out what killed you, what your name is, what weapon it was. It figured all that stuff out for me and sent it to chat. So it already did the heavy lifting for me. Why would I reinvent that? And then on top of that, we had the old bot. Remember the old bot? He may not have had funny answers and he may not have had a broad range of stuff. There's only certain things he would answer, but at least he had the pertinent answers, if that makes sense. If you asked him, who Tom Brady was, he would be definitely sure to tell you that Tom Brady's a little bitch. So he would always have the correct answers to go along with things, but he just wasn't as diverse and funny as the new bot was. And that's when it dawned on me. What if instead of rewriting those plugins, I just wrote a utility plugin, it just does functions. It doesn't do anything on its own. It's a utility. And then I make that utility, you can pass variables to it. You can pass all kinds of stuff to it. Long story short, I made that. And now any plugin in existence, and I mean any plugin, I may actually sell this tool at some point. I need some money desperately, so I may sell it at some point, but any plugin now can call on my utility plugin, feed it just the pertinent information it wants, and I even added extra stuff you can feed it. I added a prefix you can feed it, meaning if you want to add a little extra information at the beginning of the prompt, I added a suffix. For instance, you see how ours will say to toggle these messages off, type /DM toggle or whatever. That would be a suffix. I added the option to have a suffix at the end of it. I added options that you could pass along color codes to it, so you can tell it what color you want the message to be. You could tell it what prefix you want to have, like a name in front of the message, Zombot or whatever. I added a bunch of extra cool shit to it too, so that other people and other developers want to tie into it at some point. Anyway, the point being is now you can just pass information to my utility plugin, and my utility plugin takes that, processes it through the artificial intelligence, and then spits the message out to chat. And that's fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. Yes, it works. Yes, it's awesome. And yes, I'm going to show you some of it right now. So now we got the best of both worlds. We got the old death messages and the old Zombot where they actually knew what the fuck they were talking about precisely. But we got the new AI where it can really make a diverse answer, really, add some comedy to it, add some personalities to it, whatever. And it's a lot of fun. On top of that, you guys know me. I always go extra. I always have to be extra with everything. That's why I ramble so much, because I'm extra. I decided if I was going to really make this cool, so when you do OpenAI, you tell it two things. I already told you about the prompt, right? That's how it gets all its information, is the prompt. Well, there's another thing you can send to it too in the beginning. You send it its personality. It's called a user actually, but you send it its personality. So for instance, I would say, the personality or the user would be, you are a helpful assistant on a Rust server named Zombieland. The server wipes on the first, that kind of stuff. I'm just defining who it is. You will always answer questions. You're allowed to use profanity. You should always try to make your answers funny, stuff like that. You're basically telling the AI what its personality is. And then that's the user. And then the prompt is the actual data. Zombieland, you can type /info to get this. You can do this, you can do that. That's the prompt. So in my utility plugin, I added a function where you can actually define an unlimited number of personalities. And all they really are is just what I just said, like a description of the personality, right? You can define an unlimited number of personalities, and then every plugin that you tie into my plugin, you can remember all the things I told you can pass to it, like the color codes and the name and stuff. You can also pass it a personality number out of your list of personalities. You can say, I want this one to be personality number 9, which is the pirate. I got a pirate personality, and you can define it, and it'll do a pirate personality. And so it's really cool. I'm really proud of myself, and it works. And then one of the admins actually had the bright idea, and I implemented it to where if you don't define a personality, it'll just randomly pick one. So you can have like 20 personalities in there and just tell it to randomly pick one each time. And that's what we've been doing lately, and it is fucking hilarious. One moment Zombot will be a fucking pirate, the next moment he'll be fucking medieval royalty from like ancient England. It's fucking hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. And by the way, if you guys ever have any cool personalities that you think I should add to Zombot, I'm all for suggestions. Me and the admin team have been brainstorming some of them. We got some really good ones in there. We got like an Austin Powers one where he like sexually harasses you. We got a grumpy old man because we all love Mountain Juice. We got like Deep Woods hillbilly. We got fucking medieval royalty. We got like drunk British guy. We got all kinds of funny personalities. Oh, we got to do a Medea. Holy fuck, that's my favorite character of all time.
Got a couple recommendations here. Virus said should be Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yes, just nothing but a bunch of MFs.
The thread.
Okay, well anyway, how about this? One of y'all make a suggestion in the suggestions forum, and then everybody else can start tacking onto it with your ideas. But just feel free to add some suggestions for personalities. I'll even post some of the ones I already did, so you can see an example of what they would look like when you describe them. I'll do that here in a little bit when the meeting's over. Anyway, so let me show you a couple of them right now. This isn't important. It's more for just fun and entertainment. And honestly, I hate to sound cocky. It's just me bragging. Like, I am so proud of myself. You got to remember, I'm a retired cop. I don't know shit about this kind of stuff. I literally decided I was tired of asking Nivix to fix our shit all the time. I wanted to learn how to do some code. And now I'm writing plugins. This is like my 4th plugin I've written now so far. Matter of fact, I'll even show off the admin toolbox one to you if you want. So I'm going to die. Let's go die to this bear and see what happens. I'm still trying to fine-tune this, by the way, so, just bear with me, because I'm sure there's still going to be mistakes.
Bear with you. Nice.
Well, speaking of which, one of the downsides of all this is we haven't had Nivix hanging out nearly as much lately.
I talk to him every day. I literally talk to him every day.
Get his ass in the channel.
He's been moving this last couple weeks. All right, so I just died to a... Yo, man, that... Got a... like a rapper. Yo, man, that bear straight up snacking on T-Bird's belly like it's a Jamaican patty, rude boy. Oh, I put a fucking Rastafarian stoner in there too somewhere as a personality. And the also anyway. So long story short, so now what we do is now the Death Notes gets passed through my utility plugin. When you ask Zombot questions, it just gets and it uses the old logic where he knows to focus on the correct answers, and it gets passed through the AI. Your join and welcome message, your join and leave messages pass through the AI now. Some of the old favorites from Zombot, I reprogrammed all the old favorites into him too. So I know some of you guys like. I know that's a server favorite. Jesus Christ. That's the angry, I coded a fucking disgruntled, angry teenager or something in there. That's what that one was. God damn, he's mad as hell though. Here's another one. Let me see. This must be I did one that speaks in only Ebonics. I wonder if this is that one. All the deets about we be wiping be up in the Discord wipe info channel, you heard? peep that for the full scoop of the schedule. Ain't nothing hidden, just straight up facts on here. Anyway, as you can see, it's fucking hilarious. He just randomly picks a personality now. Let me go die to an NPC and see what happens.
Alright, I went ahead and made a post in suggestions.
Oh, nice.
I also
nice.
posted a screenshot of the examples you provided so people can kind of get
Okay,
an
cool.
idea.
Cool. I appreciate it. Let's see what this one says here. Yep. Oh, Farmer Bill. I think he's in the meeting right now too, isn't he? Farmer Bill, you in here? Farmer Bill blasted T-Bird in the noggin from 3 meters away. That bird didn't stand a chance. Anyway, so it's kind of neat now. So now all the old questions work. Even stuff like I'm trying my. It's really hard because the AI wants to reform what you write.
On search.
My Google Home keeps going off. Anyway, it wants to rewrite stuff, so I was trying to get it to keep the colors of names and keep URLs intact, and that's really difficult, but I think I've got it. Let me try. Oh, I gotta fix that. It added a style thing in front of it. Ugh, stupid ass damn zombie. Anyway, that was my third-party narrator. That's so funny. What other questions did the old Zombot used to answer that you guys used to like to ask? I forgot. It's been a while. I know you guys used to always hit it with Tom Brady. You used to hit it with
When's wipe is a good
I just
one.
did that one.
Where them nodes at?
Is that even one from the old one?
No, but that's what people always ask.
I can't remember if I put that in there.
Yeah.
or not.
It
Where's
was in the old
Bradley?
one.
That's another one.
Oh, look, there we go. Oh, that's my third-person narrator. I told one of the personalities is you are a narrator in the third person. So anyway, as you guys can see, we got it all reprogrammed. It's all working good. Obviously, I got to fix some of the trying to get the AI to not remove color tags and not fuck them up. As you can see, he didn't remove them. He rearranged them into some other tag I didn't want. So it's it's still got some bugs we got to work out, but for the most part, it's going to be going live. One of the other things I was going to show is we have it's not really a show. I guess it's just more of a tell. But my big plugin that I wrote called Admin Toolbox. It took the place of like 7 other plugins, all narrowed down to one and all narrowed down in performance. And basically, a good example would be this. And this pretty much is equivalent for all the plugins that we eliminated, but this is a good example. Zone Manager. Zone Manager, we literally just used it to kick sleepers out of town. That was it. That's like 1% of what Zone Manager can do. Zone Manager is an extremely laggy, extremely heavy plugin, and all we were using it for was to kick sleepers out of town. All the plugins that we eliminated were like that, where they had tons and tons and tons of bloat and extra functionality that we have no desire to use at all, and we only needed one little tiny thing out of them. So what I did was I wrote, well, first of all, the Admin Toolbox plugin originally didn't even start for that reason. It was just tons of customizations that we have on our server. I wanted to get them all conglomerated down into one thing, but no, I don't play DayZ. But we combined a bunch of, again, a good example is the Zone Manager thing. I made a function now inside the Admin Toolbox plugin that just ejects sleepers from town. It does not even run on the server. Like Zone Manager, when it's on, it's just fucking on, and it's hitting your server hard as hell constantly. My implementation of ejecting sleepers, it literally, just like, I think I have it set to an hour. It doesn't, and what's even cooler is when I code things like on timers, I don't code them to run on the server. I code the timer to run on a third-party utility that just sends an Archon command to the server when the time is up. So even the timer doesn't run on our server, just for performance reasons. So once an hour, my third-party utility will send the command, and it'll just poof, it ejects the sleepers, and that's it. It's done. It's not running on the server. It's not performing anything. It's not calculating anything. It's just done. So it's gonna help our performance a ton. Not that we need help with the performance, but I'm always conscious about that kind of stuff. So there's a ton of functions that I coded into this plugin, and when I say a ton, I'm gonna bring up the website here, my other screen, and I'll switch my stream to that real quick. But I'm not gonna go over all this because you guys will fall asleep on it, and most of this is admin. But here's what my new plugin does. How do I switch this to desktop? There. Anyway, so this is what my new plugin does. All this shit right here. And all of that is in place of like 7 other plugins. And I don't mean like I just copied stuff. I literally just said, okay, I want to do this. So this adds right into you, giggity.